Since the beginning of the year, with the easing of the pandemic, a worrying trend has emerged in China, a dramatic rise in youth unemployment. Surprisingly, the post-pandemic economy did not bounce back as expected, leaving many young people struggling to find jobs. Official figures released by China paint a stark picture. The youth unemployment rate hit 19.6% in March and continued to climb. By August, the situation became so concerning that the government ceased publishing these figures. But this is just the official narrative. Many economists speculate that the real unemployment rate could be even higher. The cessation of these publications does not imply the problem has vanished. Quite the contrary. Amidst this crisis, a unique cultural phenomenon has emerged, the Kongyiji literature. This literary trend, popular among students, symbolizes the plight of youth years of hard study with little to show for it. Kongyiji, wearing a long gown, has become a self-deprecating slogan among students, indicating their frustration and disappointment. The issue isn't confined to the youth. It's a nationwide concern, with average working hours reaching new heights, indicating a broader problem in the workforce. A term that's gained popularity in this context is human minds, a metaphor suggesting that people are being exploited like natural resources. However, as this term gained traction, it was swiftly banned on platforms like Weibo, Bilibili, and Jihu, reflecting the sensitivity of the issue. Whether it's Kongyiji or human minds, these subcultures represent the struggles and the resilience of ordinary Chinese people in the face of these challenging times. That's the first major category of events for this year. Stay tuned as we delve into more significant events that have shaped China in 2023. Now let's talk about the second category, a series of events eroding public trust in China. Last year, we had events like the Hu Xinyu case that already started to chip away at the CCP's public trust. It wasn't just about the case itself, as disappearances happen every day in China, but more about the government's lack of honesty in dealing with it. It's hard to trust the government's investigation results. This year, the situation worsened with even more events. First up, we had the North Arctic catfish event and the Zhou Gongzi event. These incidents, happening around the same time and nature, highlighted something beyond flaunting wealth. It was more like flaunting power. Both individuals showed off wealth and superior status from their positions within the system. The North Arctic catfish event began with his posts on Weibo, where he claimed his grandfather was the director of the Shenzhen Transportation Bureau with 9-figure assets. His derogatory language, like irreparable nature of supporters and chives, struck a nerve with many. When these posts hit Weibo's hot search in March 2023, it sparked public outrage. The authorities intervened, but the resolution after 7 months of struggle was underwhelming. His grandfather, supposedly with 9-figure assets, faced only party expulsion and reduced retirement benefits. Zhou Gongzi's case was similar, but different in its revelation. He didn't use Weibo but his friend's circle to show off his political connections and wealth. The public was dissatisfied with the official conclusion, which was basically that he exaggerated, amounting to a perfunctory response. But these were just the beginning. In June 2023, we witnessed the pointing to a mouse as a duck incident at Jiangxi Industrial Vocational Technical College. A student found something resembling a mouse head in his cafeteria food and posted it on TikTok. Initially, it seemed like a standard food safety issue. But the official response, which wrongly identified it as a duck neck and threatened the student, turned it into a scandal. Netizens likened it to a modern pointing to a deer as a horse. Jiangxi province had to launch a new investigation due to social media pressure, confirming it was indeed a mouse head. The involved company was later fined 7 million yuan. Towards the year's end, we had the blood slot sister incident and the 2.2 billion yuan lottery jackpot in Jiangxi. Both incidents stirred public emotions. The blood slot sister case, where a chat record showed a woman claiming to have mobilized officials for blood donation and chartered a plane for surgery, raised eyebrows. When this went viral, the content was deleted and officials denied her special privileges, but the public remained skeptical. And then there was the shocking 2.2 billion yuan lottery win. The winner bought 100,000 yuan worth of tickets on the same number, avoiding taxes due to the distribution of the prize. This raised questions about the lottery system's integrity. Events like these throughout the year have not only created waves but have drastically lowered the CCP's public trust. Each incident, with its unique cause, has led to the same result: a questioning and skeptical public, now more aware of their position as chives in the larger scheme. That concludes our discussion on the second category of events impacting China this year. These stories highlight the growing gap between public perception and official narratives, a crucial aspect of understanding China's current socio-political climate. With a buzzing public sphere, it's no surprise that the central government in China has been anything but quiet. This brings us to our next focus, the third category of events in 2023, the escalation in political struggles within the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. Discussing political struggles and secret stories within the CCP is always intriguing. Last year we saw events like the removal of Hu Jintao, but this year, the intensity of these struggles has significantly ramped up. Take the case of Qin Gang, for example. Prominent and recently speaking about unifying Taiwan, he suddenly disappeared from the public eye in June 2023. This led to rampant online rumors about his whereabouts and involvement with Fu Xiaotian. Concurrently, there were reports of Li Shangfu and the Rocket Army being purged. The speculations continued until October, when the official news of Qin Gang and Li Shangfu's dismissal was broadcast, confirming some of these rumors. Major media outlets reported that their downfall was not just due to personal reasons, but involved leaking military secrets to Russia. There are varied reports about how these leaks were exposed. Politico magazine suggested that Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Rudenko revealed Qin Gang's betrayal to Xi Jinping during a visit in June, while Nikkei reported it was disclosed by Putin during Xi's visit to Russia in March. There's even unconfirmed insider news from Politico that Qin Gang might have been secretly executed or committed suicide in July. Another major shock this year was the sudden death of former Premier Li Keqiang from a heart attack on October 27th. This was hard for many to accept, as senior CCP officials are believed to have access to top-notch medical care. Li Keqiang's death at 68, coupled with the recent spate of heart attack deaths in China, has sparked suspicions of political assassination. Many have raised questions online, like why he was taken to Shuguang Hospital after falling ill. I won't delve into the speculation on whether his death was natural or an assassination, as such a conclusion seems impossible until there's a significant political shift in China. However, the sudden and unexpected nature of his death and the subsequent large-scale memorial events speak volumes about the current political climate. These incidents, particularly the cases of Qin Gang, Li Shangfu, and Li Keqiang, show a marked escalation in the severity of political struggles. Now let's discuss the fifth category of events currently unfolding in China, the emergence of government financial problems. This year, we've seen a multitude of protests scattered across the nation, relating to wage arrears, unfinished buildings, and petitions. A notable example is the Whitehair movement in Wuhan, sparked by medical insurance reform. To address the shortage of social security and medical insurance funds, China began implementing reforms aimed at reducing individual medical insurance account amounts and increasing overall reimbursement ratios. This policy change caused significant upheaval, particularly in Wuhan. On February 8th, over 10,000 elderly people gathered in Wuhan's Liberation Park. They protested against the police and demanded the abolition of the new system. It's important to note that the elderly in China are typically the most supportive of the Communist Party. Their protest method was unique, carrying red flags to signify loyalty to the party while protesting. They even sang the Internationale as a form of protest, which is quite symbolic. Despite their loyalty, slogans demanding Xi Jinping to step down and the overthrow of the reactionary government were heard. Simultaneously, similar protests by the elderly occurred in Dalian, albeit on a smaller scale than Wuhan. These protests, primarily by the elderly, collectively came to be known as the Whitehair movement, a reflection of the Chinese government's current financial struggles. But this problem isn't limited to the retired elderly. Many currently employed public servants are facing income issues. Since September, there have been widespread reports of unpaid salaries and pay cuts among public employees across various regions. Tianjin, known for its high debt ratio, reported issues like the Tianjin bus group owing wages, and even the Tianjin government borrowing money from the local temple, Dabeyuan. Even in more financially affluent regions like Jiangsu, Zhejiang, and Shanghai, There have been reports of forced returns of bonuses and unpaid teacher performance bonuses in Changzhou. This widespread issue of pay cuts and financial struggles is prevalent across the country, indicating a reality of insufficient finances affecting everyone. Now, let's discuss the fifth category of events currently unfolding in China, the emergence of government financial problems. This year, we've seen a multitude of protests scattered across the nation relating to wage arrears, unfinished buildings, and petitions. The emergence of these financial problems and the resulting protests highlight the deep-rooted fiscal challenges faced by the Chinese government. From the white-haired movement to the struggles of public servants, these events have brought to light the financial pressures that are now a reality in China. Stay tuned for our next video, where we will delve into the remaining 5 significant events that have shaped China in 2023. These events further unravel the complex tapestry of China's current socio-political landscape.